in practice. Everybody getting into the act. Durant fires for three. Got it! Got it! Here's Thompson for three. Big shot by Steph Curry.
110-99, the final 17 consecutive wins for the Rockets, 26 from the Beard, and a very happy Mike D'Antoni afterwards.
This group they're incredible because they're self-motivated. They want to win. They come out. They do the right thing. We play a certain way. They all bought into it. They just keep getting better at it. Very little correction. We just show them on tape. They've already talked about it 10 times how they can do it better, and it's rolling right now, and we just got to keep it there. We got to keep it in a good place, and right now we're in a good place.
They're in a historic place. You don't believe me? Take a look. They are going streaking through the quad and pretty much everywhere else. Two separate 14-plus win streaks in the same season, 17 and counting. They will get Toronto in a very interesting, perhaps maybe finals preview. Not to get crazy, but it is possible.
Let's not get crazy here.
I'm just saying. Hey, look, at least we have there's some intrigue certainly heading into the playoffs, top the conferences. But, guys, let's get into the Rockets and kind of where they're at because streaks are streaks, right? Miami had that huge streak many years ago. They lost to the Spurs in the finals. We had the Golden State situation, right? They won 73 games. They didn't win. So regular season is regular season. But what specifically about what James Harden is doing lets you know maybe we get a different James Harden this year in the playoffs to propel this team?
What he's doing is nothing different. It's just who he's playing with right now in Chris Paul. There's not that responsibility that he had last year where he gets tired, a couple plays, or teams key in on him when he has nobody else to go through, Tony. And as you watch right here, Tony, let's talk about this. I'm calling this play. Look where they're starting to set the pick and roll now.
40-foot flat
Used
screen.
to be at the three-point line, then it goes up. Now this is closest to that hash mark, and he's coming downhill. And if you're the Milwaukee Bucks, you can't let him get a run and start. And come on, Henson, you got to do a better job of contesting or bodying up. Last, as you can see right here, he gets an isolation. What I love right now is they are getting an isolation on the guy they want. They pinpointed Jabari Parker today, and they kept getting him on isolation. And this is where you just can't let him dance. And wow, separation with that little step back. He's knocking down the three. But to me, if he can do this, TD, I threw this in here. A little defense, Casey.
Hold on.
Did y'all see that?
All it takes is a little.
Did y'all see that?
Numbers matter, though, but I like the way he at least put his hands in to stop a drive to the basket. But what has also made him tough is that, you're right, they are trying to create the mismatch. Last night you saw them go at Carmelo, and once they create that mismatch, you have to have bigs and guards that can guard them one-on-one. Because if you can't guard them one-on-one, once they beat that man, they're playing downhill, and they're going to have a lob for Capella at the basket, or they're going to have shooting from the outside. So it's a tough team to guard right now.
You know, something I wanted to pinpoint, which I think is important if you, TD, believe in the Rockets this year. They went on that first 14-game streak, the fastest pace at that point in the league. They've had the slowest pace offensively during the course of this streak. They've shown they can play both ways. Are they playing well enough in the half court that they tell you, forget about just defensively,
right,
but overall, they got a better shot?
I think they're playing and prepping themselves for the playoff run because the game is going to slow down. You're not going to get as many transition buckets as you normally would during the regular season. So once it comes down to a half court, you're talking about execution, where they're able to play with pick and rolls, which makes them the best in the game. And also they space the court extremely well and also have the right defensive guys out there to get stops. And if James Harden, I think he's worn himself down the last 2 years, but CP3 is taking that pressure off for him. So you can also have Harden on the bench, leave CP3 out there with the other four starters and make plays and give Harden rest. And when the fourth quarter comes, now he has that energy, and he can come back out there and be the playmaker that we know he can be.
Now, look, we know Houston, obviously, defensively, not necessarily stalwarts, but did a good job when they needed to, letting Giannis hurt them, but not be the one to take them over because the others, if you will, not able to do enough, Smitty. How imperative is it for the Bucks when teams create this kind of defense against him to get Bledsoe and Middleton and some of their shooters involved?
Well, it is. I mean, I think when you start to look at Milwaukee, that's the next step for them. Even though they've had a fantastic season, they need that other guy that could be consistent. Could it be Jabari Parker, but he's just coming off injury. Is it Bledsoe? I love Bledsoe, but I think at times I would love to see Bledsoe not just affecting the game, scoring, Tony.
Right.
I think here's a kid with his build and his athleticism and his tenacious
and his
attitude.
pedigree.
that
course.
he
Yes,
could
we love his pedigree.
change the game defensively.
Right.
He could change the game, in my opinion, defensively and also rebound and doing other things. I think he relies on his offense too much. They need that second and third consistent guy.
And I think if he takes on the CP3 role and does what he's pretty much done his whole career, rebound, get steals, be a facilitator, it takes his game to another level. He had a chance with the Clippers to actually play behind CP3 and to see how he affected the game. It's not always about scoring because we know he can get the points every night, but it's about maybe getting 15 assists, 3 or 4 steals, being able to rebound and get maybe 9 or 10 rebounds. And he has athletic ability to do that every night, but
And
it
tough.
requires a lot of energy. Yes, tough as nails.